Hey, what's up? Eric Wong here from PrecisionMovement.Coach, and today we're going to go through the best drill for hip internal and external rotation mobility. Okay, so hip internal and external rotation, they're not something that we use too often in everyday life. If you go to cross your legs when you're sitting down, you get a little hip external rotation there, but outside of that, everyday life doesn't require a lot of it. Okay, now if you are a martial artist, you throw kicks, or you're a golfer, you play baseball or tennis, a sport like that, hip internal rotation is definitely something that you need to work on because it disappears if we're just not training it specifically because we don't use it in everyday life. Use it or lose it, that's the old principle that applies, okay? So this drill I call the butterfly reach, and it's awesome because this is the butterfly position, but my hip is flexed here, okay? So we're training this internal and external rotation in hip flexion, and this has the most carryover. This is where the limitation begins, and then it starts to trickle its way down. It's easier to rotate the hip when you're standing and the hip is in neutral. When we get into this flexed position, internal rotation becomes especially more difficult, okay? And if you've got hip impingement or femoral acetabular impingement, then I've got a link for you at the end, but let's go through this technique first because this will help with that as well, okay? So the butterfly reach, this is the butterfly position, okay? So you're gonna sit down, get into good posture, as best posture as you can, sitting on the ground, and just chill out there for 30 seconds to a minute, okay? The butterfly reach is, you're gonna rotate the hip, so balance yourself, rotate the hip into internal rotation. So my right hip is going into internal rotation. Then I'm gonna lift the foot off the ground and then reach out, not just straight out that way, but I'm trying to reach back as well. From there, gonna bring it back in, return, and then switch. Go on the other side, reach, straight out and back. Try to make my leg long, okay? It's kind of like Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat, all right? So if you ever want to be Liu Kang, this is how you do it, okay? So you're just going to go slow and under control. Don't rush it. Don't just throw it out there, get all sloppy, okay? You're not building strength through the full range when you do that. We want to build a full range of control. That's why I use the term ROC, range of control, instead of range of motion, okay? Mobility is the ability to bend. Flexibility is the ability to be bent. So flexibility is a passive thing. Mobility is an active thing, okay? So internally rotate, staying tall, reach, point the toe, so you get that full range, extend the hip, bring it back under control, and then switch. Like so, okay? There you have the butterfly reach. Great drill for hip internal and external rotation. And we're not just building that flexibility, we're building the strength to control that full range. So this is how you build flexibility that you can keep and that you can maintain, as opposed to static stretching where you stretch and then you'll just tighten right back up again, especially as we get older. You static stretch, you'll have to do that all day, every day, and still your range of motion isn't gonna, once you stop, your range of motion is just gonna go back to normal. But when we build strength in the range, then our body thinks, our brain thinks, hey, we can keep this range of motion, we can use this range of motion. We can get in, out of that range. We're stable there, so we can keep it. I'm not gonna tighten you back up. Okay, so that's the key to maintaining your flexibility gains, is to build strength, all right? Now, I mentioned hip impingement. If you've got that issue where you feel, when you get down into, say, a bottom of a squat, you feel kind of a very localized, sharp pain that just kind of, you're good, and then it just hits, then you might have hip impingement. So check out the video. We're going to link to that at the end of this one, and you can get another technique to help you out with that. All right? So hope that helps. Make sure you subscribe to PrecisionMovement.Coach or to me here on YouTube or Facebook to get more techniques to eliminate pain and improve your movement and mobility.